And welcome to the 13th episode of the Behind the Fleet podcast with your host. It's just Miss Wells. You all know that you can follow me on Instagram at It's Just Miss Wells. And tonight I've got a very special guest by the name of DJ Baby G that's joining me on this episode. Tell these people who you are, where they can find you at on social media.
Hi, everybody. I am the one, the only DJ Baby G. You can find me on IG at DJ Baby G70. That's the easiest way to find me. Who is Baby G? Baby G is a country boy from Mississippi. Out here in the 719, Colorado Springs, Colorado, where I'm the state manager for Fleet DJs Colorado and currently the Mid-East regional manager, also Mid-East Mountain regional manager out here doing what I do. Who is Baby G? Where can Army veteran, country boy from Mississippi out here via the United States Army, the only one who.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. You're welcome. I've been DJing, whatever. I'm 53 now. I've been DJing 40 of those years.
Ooh, okay.
So I've been DJing quite a long time, and before DJing, I used to play the trumpet and the violin, but I couldn't afford all of them, so I had to make a decision.
So you have been through the evolution of this music industry. Like, talk a little bit about what the industry was like, or what the music was like when you were 13 and you were first exposed to it.
It was more soulful. It had more feeling in it, because it was more live instrumentation, not a lot of process stuff. But it was amazing music. Okay. Growing up in the South with the blues and country, being exposed to all the deep rooted singing, or singers as we call them down south, they could sing. It was just a smorgasbord of sound. That's why I always tell people, you hear me all the time, I just move sound because it's all about sound. Like now we're moving sound.
Yeah.
But the music was just so, you felt it. You could feel it all over. Inside, outside, it had a lot of depth to it. Body, character. So that's what it was when I first heard it.
Okay, so it was around the same time that you got your DJ equipment, or was it the same time that you were doing instruments?
It was when I was doing instrumentation,
the
trumpet and the violin. Before I got DJ equipment, I took Mom's old school Radio Shack cassette deck and turntable and and them old big turntables and music boxes you seen sitting on Grandmama and Big Mama and Flo.
Yes. When you used to have to take the cassette tape and put the little paper in the corner
to record.
Record. I'm dating myself, but I know a little bit about it because I remember how many times we sat back and we did that. But okay, so let's progress a little bit through the journey and just talk about when this DJ thing came around for you. Like, who exposed you to becoming a DJ?
I really saw it on TV when TV got big and stuff, but I heard it on the radio station because growing up and before I joined the military, because I joined the military very young. I went to late entry into the military at 16 and I turned 17 in the military. So I've been working for the government a long time. And I still currently work for the federal government. But DJ Jazzy Jeff, Kool Herc, all of the originals, the historical people that associated to hip hop, the movement of DJing, the sounds, I was exposed to it at a very young age. My mother dated a drummer back in the day that was a drummer for Bobby Rush. So I was exposed to music on the big platform very early.
Okay.
And
so When did Fleet become a part of this journey? Because I have become obsessed with hearing how other people were introduced to this organization, and I'm never surprised at how unique the experience is.
Okay. I had been DJing for over 30 years by myself, even before I came to Fleet. I joined Fleet in 2018 just by seeing stuff on the internet and seeing other DJs saying they were part of this DJ crew.
Okay.
So I've been doing it so long by myself. I said, let me see what it'd be like to be a part of a crew of DJs to see if it
Mm.
would be better, worse, or whatever. Sure enough, it's just a big dysfunctional family like I grew up with. There's good and bad in everything, and that's the thing people have to understand. I didn't need Fleet to make me money. I came to Fleet to share what I knew because
Ooh.
I DJ, I do computers, I do photography. I do a lot of the support mechanisms that
Mm.
make digital DJs now who and what they are. Because I came from the vinyl analog world, and I still have my vinyl collection, which is last time I counted and stopped, I have 7,000 pieces of vinyl in my basement.
Oh my goodness. I can only imagine. Okay, so out of 7,000, give me three of your most favorite albums that you've got in that collection.
Beat Street Breaking, the album from the movie.
Oh.
I got like 4 copies of it. That's how much I used to play it. Uh, Crush Groovin' was another one. I have 3 copies of that. And Motown's Greatest Slow Jams.
Wow. Oh, I would be in hog heaven. My daughter has started her vinyl collection, so I'm always like, you gotta have this one. You gotta make sure you get this. Put a little old school in there, mixed with that new school,
Yeah,
baby.
definitely. The music, but I really don't have a favorite. Those are
Okay,
some of the ones I played the most because
okay.
they had such feeling and depth to them. They resonated.
Mm.
Force MD's Tender Love, uh, Endless Love is on the greatest hit from Motown's. I'll Be There. A bunch of different music that resonates with the spirit and the essence.
Okay.
You know, I'm not the greatest writer, but I used to write love letters in school for boys and girls.
Well, there you go. You was Mr. Make It Happen. One way or the other. I'm gonna help you make it happen.
I'm a Libra. I'm left-handed, so I use both sides of the brain. So I'm always got something going on.
Well, listen here. I am a left-handed Libra too. So what about that? Shout out to us. We're definitely
Right.
friends.
Them the
So
right folks get mad because they only use one side of their brain. We use both
there
sides.
you go. So, what has been the biggest difference that you've seen from the transition from vinyl to digital? Because the industry shifted a few years back, and we've got people that are now they've moved away from even pressing up items. They're not giving out CDs. They don't give out jump drives. They don't give out anything. They're going to send you an MP3 link and or direct you to YouTube or a streaming platform. And that's almost it. But as someone that's had their foot in both industries, how do you help people now with being able to maximize?
They 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 devalue the DJ and they don't value their music.
Mm,
But they can get so much so fast, and they don't value quality in the sound of it, the sonics. A lot of
yeah,
DJs may have music, but it sounds like crap when they play it because it's not of high quality. And
yeah.
I'm a stickler for sound because my dad was a mechanic and my mom was a computer programmer. So I've been using my hands my whole life because both sides of my genetic makeup use theirs.
Okay.
So attention to detail, nuances. It's just people now don't value music like we did growing up
Yeah.
because you had to fight because there was only so many copies. If it ran out, you had to wait a week, 2, 3, depending on the supply and demand of the cassettes, the CDs, the vinyls. You don't have nothing somebody can write on. You don't know who produced or create the music because you ain't got nothing to read no more.
This is true. This is so true.
So all those nuances that made having a collection of music, vinyl, CDs, and cassette. I got Prince Around the World a Day cassette, still in the plastic, never opened. I had 3 of them. This one's never been opened. The seal's never been broken. That's how much we used to play them because,
But I think that you're also touching on something that people are overlooking is when you create these tangible products, you also leave something behind that people are able to hold on to that becomes these souvenirs and these like high ticket items that tells a story that only this product can do. So I think that's amazing to have that type of collection like readily at your fingertips in a digital world like we're in today. You said something else that I got to touch on before we move this conversation forward, and that's how the DJ has become devalued. And that's one of the reasons that I've been on this platform exposing the individuals that's behind the Fleet DJ organization. And that's because people have gotten away from just how valuable each one of you are with breaking tracks, with engagement, with really being able to help an artist grow a fan base. Talk just a little bit about, from your perspective, how that journey has been with staying relevant in this space as a DJ.
well, number one, Fleet has allowed me access. Fleet is an amazing, beautiful platform for networking. If you get
Yeah.
nothing else, you have access to Miss Wales Network, Baby G's Network,
Yeah.
all these members' networks. And you get to see how people build their relationships. You learn from the bad, the good, the ugly, how to better build your relationship. So that's one thing,
Yeah.
relationship. Number 2, it's forcing you to get smarter, whether you want to or not, with technology, like we're doing now. You're in Tennessee, I'm in Colorado, but we're still building a relationship and communicating virtually face to face, but I can see you, you can see me, we can hear each other. Number 3, it forces these artists to re-engage with, as our big brother P Money say, the true A&Rs of the streets, the DJs. It's forcing them to come back to us because these labels are going belly up. They're digitizing everything. They're not wanting to interact with nobody unless they benefit. So now these artists are starting to realize all this money, I can make it myself, but I got to build a team and I got to be willing to have relationships. And like my dad said, because he was self-employed, you can have a 12-inch pie, but it don't mean you got to eat the whole 12-inch pie.
Come on, Dad.
If you bring something to the table for everybody to eat, you will be able to eat now and long term, known as what? Residual income.
Yeah.
So those are the things I'm learning more and more about, learning how to go back to old school, barter and trade. Miss Wells do an interview for me, Baby G do a flyer for her. We stop devaluing people's time.
Mm.
Those are the things I learned with Fleet.
Yeah.
Some people truly value the knowledge and wisdom you have. Same for me. Some people, other people, it's just me, 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 me.
Yeah.
But being exposed to that, now I learned how to move better. But because for all those years I was just moving by myself, it was my way. Now I done learned how to move like other people or simulate how other people move to get more of what I need and not disrespect nobody, but everybody can open a door for another dollar, which is a resource. It's not my motivation. Get
Yeah.
it? Don't get it. Money is no longer my motivation. My motivation is my unconditional faith and love for me and my faith in my greater power and then my family. As soon as I took money out the equation, it started coming more freely.
Mm. Talk to him. Talk to him, DJ Baby G. You let them know.
As long as I've been doing it, I've been around music and doing music almost my whole life. So
Mm.
And I can tell people, Fleet has shown me how people invest in themselves and how people don't invest in themselves. Me, every time I DJ, I go buy photography equipment, DJ producer equipment. I take the money from the business, invest it totally back into it. But the greatest investment is me improving my knowledge up here because can't nobody take it from me.
Absolutely. So, talk about how technology has been critical in what you do, like in Fleet. Like, again, I know that we're a worldwide organization and we're doing these virtual meetings, but when we think about technology, it goes so much deeper than just a computer and a Zoom or a video application. So, kind of talk about some of the tools or resources that you found that's helped you in this digital space.
Uh, Technology, I love it because that's what I do for a living. I'm a computer geek. I'm a computer technician for the federal government. That's my 9 to 5. So,
Okay. I
uh,
think you sit up too, so I know I hit that sweet spot.
yeah. So, equipment behind me, equipment over there, set up so I have multiple systems. Then I got cameras. It's about lighting. It's about software. It's about audio. It's about visuals. How we make I make the custom background. It's about technology allows us to create a brand that we only could dream of. So the more you invest in the technology, you ain't gotta be the master of none of it. You just be a jack of all trades.
Yes. And the way the technology is working these days, it allows you to be one person with the output of 10 to 15 people if you know how to utilize it the correct way. So,
That part.
like, this is the conversation where we're truly dropping gems for these artists, producers, anybody that's out here that's like, how do I make this more than what it is currently? Like, you can apply this in so many different ways.
And
Um,
the biggest part, before we go any further, the biggest part of technology is backups, backups, back up your data, back up your data. Have a backup. If you just go down to Walmart, Harbor Freight, anybody, buy you a fire retardant safe, backup data there, then give another copy to somebody you trust, or buy you a safe deposit box, whatever. Get your business, get your paperwork. All this technology ties together and you can do it. And like you just said, one person, if they're efficient and learn how to manage time and invest in themselves, they can present a brand, an entire brand from the front end to the back end, and nobody will never be the wiser unless they actually see you move in the background.
this is so true. Like, that's what a lot of people in this Fleet organization do. You started this conversation by mentioning you came in not because you needed Fleet, you wanted to be able to have a place to give back to. And that is another common thing that I've heard in these conversations where people already have their business, their brand, their models moving, and they come join this organization to be more efficient or have more impact or reach. So, talk about how collaboration amongst Fleet has been able to expand what you were what you were doing previously to what you're doing now, especially when it's in Colorado or even on the Midwest region. You said Midwest, right, or East?
Midwest, Mideast out here.
Okay,
So,
okay.
so one word: networking. Let the net do the work for you. Networking.
Ooh, let the net do the work for you. That's a shirt, baby G.
We'll talk about that on another call.
Absolutely.
But
I
I
love
but I dabbled in that too. I
it.
can
Okay.
I can make my own merch too.
Man, a true jack of all trades. True jack of all trades.
But that's again, you don't have to go hog crazy into nothing nowadays.
Yeah.
Terminology, basic understanding, or as they call it, 101. That way, when
Mhm.
you're out there allowing the net to do the work for you, you can have mature conversations and you don't talk down to nobody and you don't feel nobody's talking down to you. Again, self investment.
There you go. There you go. So, what are you currently doing in Colorado right now? What is the state of Colorado doing within Fleet? So people know if you're in that area, what is going on, what you guys got moving, and how they can become involved in that.
I do private parties because, like I said, I've been doing it so long, the club scene and all that, I don't really mess with it. And it's dangerous. After COVID and everything, it just been changed and it wasn't a good
This is
change.
true.
A lot
Yeah.
of businesses went under, so there's not a lot of spaces for club DJs. And if you don't play politics, which I'm not good at, you don't get
Yeah.
those low paying undercutting spots that DJs undercut each other to get. I don't need a bar tab. I need money to pay for that $2,500 laptop back there. Uh, Private parties, events, stuff like that. As you see, I'm a Prince Hall Mason. I try to do things with my Masonic brothers and Eastern Star sisters, uh, and I hold other positions in the community that we try to do things. But a lot of time, it all falls back to money,
Mm-hmm.
and people are not willing to compromise. They want to devalue you so much to try to keep money in their pockets, but they don't value you, your equipment, your knowledge, your expertise. So it makes things really hard to do. Currently, I have two other members that are in Fleet, a producer and another DJ. But again, and this is what hurts any business or any organization, personal, professional, any type of relationship.
Mm-hmm.
People prioritizing, saying I want to be a part of a volunteer organization, but they don't put much into it. And a lot of people don't like to talk
Yeah.
about the subject, but I'm not ashamed to talk about it.
I think it's important to unpack it. I mean, mentioning that you are a Prince Hall Mason, active in other places in your community as well as in this organization, you've got some insight on how that really works. And it's relevant to an artist that is building their network and really working on their craft as well. So let's unpack it, DJ Baby G. Like, when it comes to, yeah, let me just unpack it. Like, go deeper into that topic.
So, me, uh, Homeowners Association member, Prince Hall Mason, Fleet DJ member since 2018. Now I'm in upper management, ex military non commissioned officer, and now a junior GS government employee. That's every day of my life. So, understanding time management, understanding they all say the same thing, they just use different terminology, but soft skills, aka people skills, are required in all of them, good and bad in all of them. But you have to decide what you allow to bother you, what you allow to come in, and what you allow to go out. And you got to learn what fights you're willing to fight.
Mm, yeah.
So unpacking it's just plain and simple. Unconditional faith and love for yourself. That way you can give it and receive it. And you're
Mm,
going to treat people the same way because
yeah.
you don't want to be mistreated. And it makes things easier. And you know the stuff I do in Fleet. You see the things I do in Fleet. So take all those same things, but now go to my next organization. I'm on the back end more. Treasurer, secretary, administrative, and another one, leadership positions, second in leadership in the highest levels, government. Been at my current government job since 2005 in the same building. Longevity, commitment, consistency. Those are the things that you have to have to be successful in anything you do. But
Mm,
the greatest thing about unpacking all this, whether it's a young artist, a new artist, me, you, or anybody, we got to learn to say no and do not devalue ourselves. by giving in to somebody that don't value us.
You know what? I normally end these conversations saying, leave these people with a nugget of advice or a gem, but that was a mic drop right there. He gave you the formula on what it requires for you to be successful personally, professionally, whatever realm you want to be in. It starts and it ends with you and what you're willing to put into it. Creating that time management, making time for all those priorities, and not letting the distractions distract you. So, DJ Baby G, again, you guys can follow me on Instagram at It's Just Miss Wells. Tell these people one more time how they can keep up with you, your movement, Colorado Fleet, like give them the whole shebang.
At IG at Fleet DJs Colorado on IG. Me again at DJ Baby G70. And we're gonna take them home. Many have tried, many have failed, but no one messed with the Fleet DJs. You heard?
And we are out of here, folks.
Love you, sis. Later.